Wish that I could say hadn't been here before. Know that I'd be lying if I said I wanted more, but I wonder if I'm wilder than you. Yeah, I wonder what that's done to you. Something about the feeling of barely hanging on. Can you save a desperate woman? Or am I too far gone? Am I on fire? Is it too hard to say? I'm like a slow burn. Takes a while to break free. You fire me up, then drag it out. I'm slowly killing you. A bad habit. I know you wanna quit. I've got hold of you. What can you do? Just something you regret. Always feeling like your last cigarette. Everyone's got something they ask forgiveness for. I can't help but think that one day I will be yours, like a long drive at the end of the day. I'm like a wrong turn that's leading you astray. Drag it out, I'm slowly killing you. A bad habit. I know you wanna quit. I've got hold of you. What can you do? Just something you regret. Always feeling like your last cigarette. Then drag it out, I'm slowly killing you. A bad habit. I know you wanna quit. I've got hold of you. What can you do? Just something you regret. Always feeling like your last cigarette. My something you regret. Always feeling like your last cigarette. I wish that I could say hadn't been here before. Know that I'd be lying if I said I wanted more, but I wonder if I'm wilder than you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. What a bloody privilege to be here at my favourite venue in South Australia. Oh, I shouldn't say that because the barn at Wombat Flat here. One of my two favourite venues. The barn at Wombat Flat's fantastic and the Wheaty's bloody fantastic too, and I'm so excited to be here. There's so much love in the room, and I appreciate you guys all coming and spending your Sunday afternoon with me. So thank you for being here and supporting live music. Thank you. This is a really beautiful way to play music, you know, in these little rooms. It feels like you're playing music to people that you love and people that you know. And this is a little different for me because I've been out on the road with Ian Moss and Troy Casadale. You might have heard of them before. And those have been really big shows, like really big, massive theatre shows. And so They don't introduce me or anything. I just walk out onto stage, and sometimes they don't even advertise that there's a support act. And I just get up on the stage, and the lights come up, and I look out at the audience, and I literally see their faces fall. Oh, that's not Troy Cassadaly. When did Ian Moss start wearing dresses? And I'm like, hi guys, I'm Melody Moko, and I'm here to stand between you and what you really want for the next 20 minutes. And then I think that that's a really good way to start a first date with them. And it's not, you know, because they already don't want me there at their table. They've already swiped the other way on me. They're really not there for it. But my favourite thing to do in that situation is to take the power back and to start swiping on the towns that I play in. So by the end of the show tonight, you guys want to hope that we're all going to swipe right together, yeah? By the end of the show, we'll be swiping right on each other. That's my aim. I want to introduce you guys to the beautiful Felicity Kircher. If you didn't catch her set before, she's wonderful and beautiful. And I am fortunate enough to have her as a member of my band. I don't think that I will be able to do that when she is a big, massive star, so I'm taking advantage of it now, and she's going to be up here with us on the stage, doing beautiful things, yeah. And of course, my husband, the lovely Mr. Michael Moko on the guitar. Now, I had a new CD come out, a new album come out in February. Do any of you have it? Put your hand up if you have it already. Wow, that means I'm going to do a mozza on the merch tonight, because every one of you is going to come and grab one, right? But it's called Suburban Dream, and I wrote it about the suburban experience because I feel like it's something that we don't often hear enough about, and it's what all of us live. Most of us live here in Australia, the suburban experience. And I wrote this one called Jesus Year because I suffered really badly with postnatal depression after the birth of my third child. And I don't know if you guys have heard of this concept before, but somebody told me about this idea of a Jesus year. And it's essentially your 33rd year. So the religious people say that Jesus died in his 33rd year, and then he was resurrected. And he did a lot of really good shit in that year before he went up to be Jesus in heaven. He did a lot of good things, and people say that when you're in your 33rd year, that you do a lot of good things, you kind of hit rock bottom, and then you come back, you're reborn a new person. And so I wanted to write a song about that concept because very much happened to me in my 33rd year. So this one's called Jesus Year. Virtues and my vices. Wish I knew how to be nicer. If this was all I ever had, I think I'd be okay with that. My Saturn returned on a 29th year. Babies and changes bringing me here, and I had to get down. And I had to get dirty, feeling the fear of a woman at 30. But here I am in my Jesus year. Are you surprised that I made it here? It's taking its toll, and honey, I know I'm on a roll. This is my Jesus year. It's a path that's liquid mine. Self-hatred runs as red as blood. My daddy's demons, now my own. He's never high, he's always stoned. I'm easy at night, I'm hard in the morning. Motherhood knocked me down without warning. It was inside the end, marked the arrival of breaking the mold, of breaking the cycle. Here I am in my Jesus year. Are you surprised This is my Jesus year. Here I am in my Jesus year. Are you surprised that I made it here? It's taking its toll, but honey, I know I'm on a roll. Well, here I am in my Jesus year. Well, I'm surprised that I made it here. It's a revolution, and the resolution is me. This is my Jesus year. This is my Jesus year. This is my Jesus year. Thanks, guys. So I'm a country singer, right? But I grew up on country music. I grew up on really good country music like Emmylou Harris and Johnny Cash and Linda Ronstadt and all of that fantastic stuff. And then when I started writing country songs, it was like all of a sudden country music became about trucks, beer and chicks. And I was like, and utes, yeah. I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do this country music thing. I got no truck. I drink wine and I haven't got a chick. So I don't know how I'm going to do this country music thing. And someone said to me the most important thing that a country music singer can have, and what makes a country music singer is just one kind of song, and it's a drinking song. And I thought to myself, well, that I can do. So I wrote this one to be my drinking song. You guys might have heard it. It's called Like Hank Wood. Cigarettes to a pack, and I'll never get that breath back. I'll turn my lungs to black till my heart does match. Too pretty to be in this bar, sitting here by the tip jar with the 3 p.m. drunks, one kind of beer. Just a few good years. I don't do sad good, I do it like Hank would, with a bottle of whiskey. I drink down my misery. You don't do leaving nice, baby, it's cold as ice. I'll tear apart your cold, cold heart like Hank would. Remember in December we were gonna leave and drive south down to New Orleans, play a couple of old CDs, ones that Hank could sing, and wear a dress from San Francisco, smoke cigarettes out the window. It's another California sunset that we didn't get. Now I'm driving, trying to forget. I don't do sad good, I do it like Hank would, with a bottle of whiskey. I'll drink down my misery. You don't do leaving nice, baby, it's cold as ice. I'll tear apart drink down my misery. You don't do leaving nights. Maybe it's cold as ice. I'll tear apart your cold, cold heart like Hank would. I'll tear apart your cold, cold heart like Hank would. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I got my beautiful husband, Mr. Michael Moko, up here with me, and if you've seen me play before, you know that my pet name for him is Ajax, because he's multi-purpose. And I love a man that's multi-purpose. And sometimes people say to me, you know, like the younger generation now, they're out and they're dating and they're like, how did you find such a good man, you know? And I said, well, the key is you don't swipe right on a man or woman that isn't multi-purpose. They don't have more than one purpose, right? So you want them to be able to do a few things, not just one thing. And Michael is a fantastic guitar player, so I get to utilise him playing with me on stage in a very normal, non-sexual way. And I also he's a fantastic father, and he also mows the lawn. So, you know, he's got 3 things that make him useful. So I love that. Yeah, he deserves a clap. I call him Ajax, though he doesn't clean. Hasn't quite figured that bit out yet, so... He thinks we've got a magic coffee table, like you put things on it and then it's filthy and then you walk out of the room and just like magic, it's cleaned itself, you know? But in all seriousness, I'm so lucky to have him. He's absolutely my rock and a beautiful man, and I really wanted to have a duet with him on my new record because we hadn't really had the chance to make, write or record any duets. So the day before we left to go to Nashville to make the record, I said to Michael, we're going to write a duet, it's going to happen. So we went off into separate rooms and wrote some little love notes to each other and came back in, shared them with each other, and they became this song. It's called Till the Day I Die.
Yeah, baby.
Dream of a place in the city. You dream of a house on a hill. You find it hard to ever commit. Babe, I love you in spite of it.
Drink like a fish in the desert. Wild when you quench your thirst. You never know when it's time to quit. Babe, I love you in spite of it.
Gonna ever learn, standing on the bridge you burned. What a beautiful view. Oh, will you ever reach your potential? I think you're too sentimental. Maybe that's why. But I'm gonna love you till the day I die. I can't decipher. Baby, you make it hard. But you know all my standing on the bridge you burned. What a beautiful view. Oh, will you ever reach your potential? I think you're too sentimental. Maybe that's why. But I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you. I'm gonna love you till the day I die. Thank you. So now that we've done that lovey-dovey thing, I want to sing you guys a song about my ex-boyfriend. And I'm going to get my husband to play the guitar for that one. My ex-boyfriend, he's an Adelaide boy. Some of you might know him, you might have met him. He was around the traps, still around the traps. I think he's married now and he has 2 poodles, which was his lifelong ambition, to have a nice house, a wife and some poodles. And my lifelong ambition was to be a barefoot hillbilly, so we just weren't very suited to each other. So instead I found my own barefoot hillbilly to marry, and that's worked out fine for me. We got no poodles, just 3 children. But this one is for him, because although we weren't meant to be together, I think sometimes the mistake we make with ex-partners is that we just cut them off and we think that, you know, that relationship's over and there's no room for another relationship with them. But I think sometimes if we look past that, we can have really beautiful friendships with those people. So this one's for Benjamin. We were lovers till the final curtain call. We said goodbye and you promised you would call. 5 years later and you've never even tried. I guess I never crossed your mind. I still think about you when I fly to my hometown. I know your number, but I'm not reaching out. Once I drove past the house we used to live. I guess it's harder to forget than to forgive. Somewhere on a lemon tree there's your name and mine. It's gonna stay there till the end of time. You're not my story, but you wrote a lot of lines. Wouldn't be the woman I was meant to be without the man that wasn't meant for me. I never treated you the way that I was taught. I always wanted to, but I kept falling short. I was a wild thing who never could be tamed, but I loved you in my own funny way. I know it broke you when I closed the final door. I hated how you cried and left my things out on the lawn. I missed your mother and I know that she missed me. I bet she thinks of me on Christmas Eve. Somewhere on a lemon tree there's your name and mine. It's gonna stay there till the end of time. You're not my story, but you wrote a lot of lines. Wouldn't be the woman I was meant to be without the man that wasn't meant for me. baby with a quiet gentleman. He fixes things and he works with his hands. Sometimes he reminds me a little bit of you. I hope you found someone that means that much to you. 'Cause somewhere on a lemon tree there's your name and mine. It's gonna stay there till the end of time. You're not my story, but you wrote a lot of lines. Wouldn't be the woman I was meant to be without the man that wasn't meant for me. Without the man that wasn't meant for me. Felicity Kircher, holy moly. She's so beautiful. I actually think I'm going to go off my set list, which my husband is going to absolutely love. You're going to love it up here on stage, but you guys are going to love it because we're going to keep the mood right there. And I want to sing you guys a song that I wrote called Great Australian Dream, which is the closing track on my new album, Suburban Dream. And I will warn you that I wrote this one when I was really in a bad place. So there's some swear words and there's some things that maybe kids might want to block their ears for. Maybe just block your ears for the whole song. I hate this fucking town. It's where dreams go to die. Everybody wants a big house and a brand new car to drive. And you said you hate your neighbor 'cause his fence is too high. So you called up the council. They're gonna give that man a fine. I hope that I don't die here. Please, anywhere but here. It's the worst place I've ever been. And it's the great Australian dream. Oh, and if I'm gonna die here, at least there's lots of things to buy here. Gonna get me a big TV screen, and I'll die living the Australian dream. Didn't grow up with money. I didn't have much at all. But a Wheaty holding Commodore and a dad who hid drugs in the walls. Yesterday I found out I was pregnant. That's one too many kids for me. There's no way I could pay for the abortion. I'm fucked again by the patriarchy. Oh, I hope that I don't die here. Please, anywhere but here. It's the worst place I've ever been. It's the great Australian dream. Oh, and if I'm gonna die here, at least there's lots of things to buy here. I'll take comfort in conformity, and I'll die living the Australian dream. said, singing songs ain't a real job. He said, a man works hard for his pay packet. And he said, you think you're real good, don't ya? You wait, your son, he's gonna be a faggot. Oh, I hope that I don't die here. Please, anywhere but here. It's the worst place I've ever been. And it's the great Australian dream. Oh, and if I'm gonna die here, at least there's lots of things to buy here. We're all gonna get big TV screens, and we'll die living the Australian dream. Thank you. I'm going to invite my beautiful friend Felicity back on the stage. Make her feel welcome. More. Yeah. I'm going to completely just disregard my set list, so sorry everyone on stage for that. But I want to play you guys the first single from the album Suburban Dream. It's called The Outskirts. I don't know if some of you have heard it. Put your hand up if you have. I'm not going to play that, babe. Is that all right? Do you guys think that was a sure yes or a sure no? Felt like a sure no, didn't it? But I wrote this one because Michael and I moved to a place called Logan. Now, it's famous for not many things except bogans. It's known, if you live in Logan, you're known as a Logan bogan. And coming from Adelaide, for me, it felt like I'd moved to Elizabeth. Which is fine, you know, actually, Elizabeth is actually probably quite fine, but for me growing up, there's this stigma, right, around Elizabeth, and so for me, I was like, what have I done? I've got married, I'm a country singer, and I live in Elizabeth. So I wrote this one about being a Logan bogan. It's called The Outskirts. Susie wants a baby, but her husband wants divorce, a job in the mines, and a bottle of Calor. The private school kids catch a private bus, the public school kids hanging at the skate park. The lady at the laundromat won't talk to me. I drove my car to the little shop after one too many. Now she thinks I don't deserve my good-looking man. She looks at him like a Cole's Christmas ham. On the outskirts, way down in the neighborhood, down south where the light don't go, down south where it's always cold. The outskirts. Nobody took the skipping for the second time. There's KFC packets along the train line. Council doesn't mow the lawn on the median strip. No civic pride, they just don't give a shit. On the outskirts, way down in the neighborhood, down south where the light don't go, down south where it's always cold. The outskirts, way down in a bad neighborhood, down south where the light don't go, down south where it's always cold. The outskirts. I'd like to buy a anywhere but here. But I screwed up my credit before I could drink beer. My parents got no money, got no silver spoon. So I smoke a cigarette and I howl at the moon on the outskirts, way down in the neighborhood, down south where the light don't go, down south where it's always cold, the outskirts, way down in a bad neighborhood, down south where the light don't go, down south where it's always cold, the outskirts, on the outskirts, on the outskirts, on the outskirts. Thank you. All right, I guess I better take my guitar back now, honey, yeah? Is that a sure yes or a sure no? So I do have some merch for sale this evening. And I want you guys to be able to take me home tonight, because at the end of any good first date, don't you all just want to take that person home, right? And if you don't, you're lying. If it's a good first date, you want to take the person home. So, yeah, see, right? Look, Kat over here is wearing my Melody Moko shirt. She's going to do a quick little model for you so you can check it out. Check her out. It comes in 2 colour varieties. You can get it in a pink and also in a nice beige. We also have a CD for anyone with an old car who can play a CD still. Like in mine, 2005 Suzuki Swift. You could get yourself one of those, take it home for just $25. Thank you very much, Kat. Check Kat out on TikTok. She models. She's a professional model. But you can take me home tonight for, you know, the starting price is $25. So I don't know what the going rate is in Adelaide, but in Logan, that's about right. Super cheap. All right, I wrote... Super cheap auto. I wrote this one, the title track for the album, Suburban Dream, when I was on my way to deliver something into the city. And on my way home, I had a newborn baby waiting for me at home, and I thought to myself, I really would love to stop and have a beer, but my husband has the 3 kids, and that's not like really the right thing to do, is it? But I've never been one to follow rules, so I thought, fuck it, and I went and got myself a beer. But I stood there at the bar for like a good half an hour, because I was wearing my mummy uniform, like straight leg jeans and a country road jumper and some Converse. And I stood there, and I think they must have thought I was there to do the health and safety inspection, because they were like, you're not cool enough to drink in this bar. So it took them a really long time to serve me, and I got really, really angry standing at the bar. I was seething. And so I got my drink, I got a cigarette, I went and sat in the smoking area, and this song just poured out of me with 1 beer and 1 cigarette. So it's called Suburban Dream.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Pretty lonely being a wife. I dream I'll take this people mover across the border and drive. I'd stand at a bar and order a beer. And I'm just a lady, and I'll forget I'm even here. So I buy weed just for kicks. I sell it to rich white women with kids. I take the pills that are meant for my son. Gonna clean the house till morning comes. It's still not enough. 7 days in a suburban dream. 7 days just wishing I was sane. The kids are fed and the floors are clean. 7 days in a suburban dream. We make love, it's cut and dry. And it's done before the baby cries. You used to make me feel obscene. Now it's just necessity. There's not enough gin and the shops aren't open. Too drunk to drive and I'm too old to keep smoking. You said come 30 we would quit. Was it the cigarettes or a premonition? I don't know anymore. 7 days in a suburban dream. 7 days just wishing I was sane. My feet are cold and I'm feeling lame. 7 days in a suburban dream. Just need 3 minutes of your time, and someone's always crying, and your mom thinks it's such a shame that I ever took your name. Is she to blame? 7 days in a suburban dream. 7 days just wishing I was sane. I wanna run and I wanna scream. 7 days in a suburban dream. 7 days in a suburban dream. Thank you. All right, so the next one I want to sing for you guys, a little bit of a party song. My dad told me last night that he thought it sounded like a Shania Twain song, and I told him that he should leave his own house. Nothing against Shania Twain, but, you know, I'm not sure it's Man, I Feel Like a Woman. But I wrote this one about friendship breakdowns. And you may have noticed, if you've heard it, that it doesn't mention any names. But if you come and buy a shitload of merch, I'll tell you who I wrote it about. And you'll be shocked. It'll be a scandal. Do you play on this one? I don't think I do. I don't. I don't know. Do you? I don't know. We're just having a rehearsal on stage, guys. We're very professional.
I can.
But it's called Ain't What You Used to Be. And I think sometimes I worry that, you know, working in the job that I work in and you have people tell you you're fantastic and you're amazing all the time, you've got to worry that it's going to go to your head. So if you guys come up to me at the merch desk, just tell me I'm shit house. You think you're the bigger man, and you never do wrong to a good woman. And you think she's crazy, but what does that mean? You got crazy and you got mad. You used to like the rumor, now you just like the smokes. You used to make him laugh, now you're going for broke. Used to be the queen of the Americana scene, pissing in the pockets of the cream of the queen. Ooh, where you gonna go when the money's all gone? Ooh, who you gonna be without that one hit song? Ooh, it's pretty clear to see, ain't what you used to be. Ain't what you used to be. I watched you on a Memphis stage. You were lit up and shiny like a neon parade. You skipped out of college, baby, skipped out of school. Look at you now, yeah, you're playing the fool. And he had a baby and a pretty wife, but you wanted a brand new do-over life. Divorce sure sounds good in a country song, and God help the woman of the man you want. Ooh, where you gonna go when the money's all gone? Ooh, who you gonna be without that one hit song? Ooh, it's pretty clear to see, ain't what you used to be. You're not Emmy Lou, babe, and he ain't Graham. Sweetheart, the rodeo's already left town. Ooh, where you gonna go when the money's all gone? Ooh, who you gonna be without that one hit song? Ooh, it's pretty clear to see, ain't what you used to be. 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 Thank you. Do you reckon it sounds like Shania Twain? Oh, if you don't know who Shania Twain is, that's probably a good thing. Your mum's raised you well. No, I don't think it does. But actually, speaking of mothers, I want to sing you guys a song called Mama. This one was my single that came out just after I won my very first Golden Guitar Award, which was very amazing. I'm unsure if I keep drinking Jameson on stage and singing about abortions and stuff. I'm not sure I'm going to win another, so it has pride of place on my mantelpiece. But I wrote this one because the thing that most people say about me when they see me, you know, people I've grown up with, like my mum's friends and stuff, they say, God, you're a difficult child. I reckon I could count, last night it was my mum's 60th, and I reckon I couldn't even count it on two hands how many times one of my mum's friends said, you were terrible, you were an awful child. And my husband said, no wonder you're so sensitive. But I wrote this one because they say that, they say I'm a terrible child, and they also said, always used to say, what are we going to do with you? What are we going to do with you? And I don't know whether me becoming a country singer was quite what they imagined. I think they thought I was headed straight for jail, so I've done well. This one's called Mama. This is what I mean about multi-purpose. I need all these people just to help me tune one string. I'm not very good at multitasking.
tell a joke.
That's good, that's
while
great.
you do it. It's
I
not
don't know
very
any
good.
jokes.
It's not very good.
Do you know a joke? You could tell a great dad joke. Go on. You're the king of them. You do it.
Well, this isn't quite a joke. It's a bit of a story, actually. And you look worried.
We're all worried, babe.
Okay. Anyway, I was explaining to my 9-year-old son about if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, did it make a sound? And he sat there for a second and he goes, if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one there to hear it, that's the perfect place for a Nickelback concert.
Miller Moko, ladies and gentlemen. This one's called Mama. Halfway down the hill, we've got $1 left, and I borrowed money for my cigarettes. Phone keeps ringing, no caller ID. All the money I owe is catching up with me. I'll never own a house, I move place to place, not week to week. Live day to day. I didn't choose the game, well the game chose me. And my mama keeps asking what to do with me. My brother keeps asking when I'll get a real job. I drove 17 hours for $100. No one really cares about the songs I write, but they sure do care what I wear online. I'll never own a house, I'll move place to place, not week to week, live day to day. I didn't choose the game, well the game chose me. And my mama keeps asking what to do with me. If I was a man, maybe I'd get by on secondhand verses and Friday nights, on the shake of a hand and an open door. Yeah, if I was a man, well I could have it all. I'll never own a house, I'll move place to place, not week to week, live day to day. I didn't choose the game, well the game chose me. And my mama keeps asking what to do with me. Yeah, my mama keeps asking what to do with me. Yeah, my mama keeps asking what to do with me. Thank you. I wrote this next one because my family is a bunch of delinquents, basically. There's a lot of them here tonight. They've been tearing up the dance floor before there was even such thing as a dance floor over there in the corridor. So I want you guys to give them a clap because they're the Woo Girls. The Feeder family. My aunties are here from Melbourne. They came not for my gig, it just happened my gig was on. And so here they are. And I wrote this one because coming from a family of delinquents, you pick up a lot of bad habits, you know? And I don't fully blame my family for that, but, you know, whenever I was offered a drink, it was by someone in my family, you know. Whenever I was offered something that felt a little bit naughty, it was definitely one of my aunties was behind it, you know. So I learnt pretty early that I'm not very good on that stuff. I'm not very good on anything that's like much harder than Jamison. So I decided that I just wouldn't do it. It was like rebelling against my rebellious family, right? I'm going to be straighty 180. It didn't last long, and now I just do everything in moderation. So that's my advice for you. This one's called Never Get High. Well, you ain't like weed, and you ain't like wine, but it sure feels good for a head like mine. Keep me up all night, give me the sweetest rest, like a pill I take that makes my mistakes seem insignificant. Well, keep me in a state of bliss, talking just to move my lips and touching myself 'cause it feels so nice. I can eat and I can't sleep till your hands are all on me, and crazy out till you touch me again. Now I know why I should never get high. Well, if addiction's sin, I guess I'll say goodbye. 'Cause me and Jesus, we're never gonna get right. If it makes me sick, don't call the doctor for me. If it makes me poor, if it makes me mad, I'll die broken crazy. Keep me in a state of bliss and talking just to move my lips and touching myself 'cause it feels so nice. I can eat and I can't sleep till your hands are all on me, and crazy out till you touch me again. Now I know I should never get high. Oh, it runs in the family, this addictive personality. That's why I never take cocaine. Not very often. I can't keep my will, that's why I don't take pills. That's why I should never get high. Well, keep me in a state of bliss and talking just to move my lips and touching myself 'cause it feels so nice. I can eat and I can't sleep till your hands are all on me, and crazy out till you touch me again. Now I know why I should never get high. Now I know why I should never get high. Now I know why I should never get high. Thanks, guys. We got time for one more, and then maybe if you yell loudly after that, we might come up and do another couple, but that's a secret. You're not meant to know about that bit. This one's for my little boy Miller, who is all the way home in Brisbane. Yeah, he needs a clap. He had his starring moment on my record Suburban Dream, his very first session musician job. We took him all the way over to Nashville and he played electric guitar on my song The Outskirts. And he was very concerned about the fact that it was country and it wasn't very cool. And so what could he do to make it cooler? And I don't know if you guys know what a whammy bar is. Do you know what a whammy bar is? Put your hand up if you do. Okay, for those of you who don't, it's like a little bar that goes like here on the guitar, and it goes wah, 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 wah. Kind of like, not really like that, but a little bit like that. And what it does is like bends the note out of tune. It's really not a country music thing, right? It's like a, where do you hear whammy bars, babe?
Just watch Wayne's World.
It's like, you probably hear whammy bars at the RSL, right? I don't know where you hear them. It's like, I think it's like punk music or something that you hear them. Anyway, he says to me,
I'm just going to let you keep going yourself.
Mum, if
it's better if you just talk.
Mum, if you let me play on the record, would you let me have a little whammy bar, you know? A little wah wah. A little woo woo. And I was like, listen, I wasn't going to let you play whammy bar, but since you did that noise, I'm going to. So he played whammy bar on the record. There's a little moment. See if you can pick it. Come and buy the album. It features whammy bar. That's all I'm going to say about that one. But this song is for him. It's called Don't Explain. One of the first signs that my son was on the spectrum, and I should have realised this at 3 years old, he never played with toys, he never played with trucks or anything like that. He was just very obsessed with Paul Kelly, to the point that he knew every single detail about Paul Kelly's life, his songs, the chord progressions, which guitars he played on which songs. It was like he was really focused on it. But I was like, oh no, I think he's just really clever. Turns out he is really clever, but also on the spectrum. So we recorded this song for My Miller, and it's called Don't Explain. It's a Paul Kelly song. This is a chance for you to dance, have a little bit of fun. I hope you enjoy. I'm Melody Moko, guys. Thanks very much for having me. Don't explain, it's really not your style. I had some fun, you really made me smile. Don't look so serious, it doesn't suit your face. Don't explain, don't explain. You sure know how to use your hands, but you don't have the great attention span. Don't apologize or drop your eyes. Don't explain, don't explain. I've seen them come, I've seen them go. Boys like you, they're gangster highs, they're dreamy lows. Boys like you, I've seen them come, I've seen them go. Boys like you, they're gangster highs, they're dreamy lows. Boys like you, so take your things. I won't count the days. Yeah, you can call on me if you're back this way. But if one night you're lonely and I have other company, don't complain, Thanks, guys. I'm Melody Moko. All right, we only got time for one more, just one more. You guys convinced me. Two. Oh, look, we're inching on time, aren't we, Ria? We got time for one more or two? Two? Amazing. All right. Well, I'm going to start with one that I wrote about my family. I'm going to play that. I am. Yeah. I'm going to let these guys have a little second off because I wrote this one because my family are delinquents, but they have the best Christmas in the entire world. And the worst thing about getting married is that you have to go to your spouse's place for Christmas, let's be clear. Every second year you have to go to someone else's Christmas which is subpar to yours. My Christmas is like sashimi. It's really bougie Christmas, but mostly just that everyone gets really drunk at my Christmas. Michael's family's Christmas is a Woolies chook and some West Coast coolers. So I wrote this one to commemorate my family's Christmas. It's called Every Second Year. I'll never get over Christmas without you. Every second year, and I wonder how long I'll miss all the arguments about politics and music clips. And Dylan is not the genius you always make him out to be. But I wish, like anything, I was listening to Dylan with you under the tree. So I play my kid's tambourine man like you do when you're here. Every second year I'm missing the real thing, the smell of good weed and wealth so obscene, champagne in the morning, the heat on my skin, the lake that we jump in, and Sharon's upset 'cause the house got all wet when the kids played under the hose. Well, man, I'd give anything to trade this year in and be there, getting under her nose. So I smoke a joint and I go to bed, 'cause that's what you do if you were here. Every second year. There's no religion, we don't go to church, but it's Holy Communion for me. So just like you would, I'll turn up the music and I'll drink till no one is here. Every second year. Merry almost Christmas. All right, I'm going to bring these guys back. We're going to finish up with a song. It's a Townes Van Zandt song. When my husband and I first met, we went to a date. We went on a date to Townes Van Zandt's grave. It wasn't a very romantic idea, but we were in somewhere in the south of the US, and we were like, let's go and visit Townes's grave. And it was very awkward because we just stood there. We hadn't bought anything. We hadn't written him a note. We just kind of stood there like, rest in peace, Townes.
Like, how do you take a photo with a grave?
Yeah, it's weird, right? You don't even know the person. It's not like you could be weeping, you know?
We did, though.
Did we weep?
We did take a photo.
Oh, we did take a photo, we did. But it was such a shit show, this whole thing, right? Going to his grave and having nothing. So I promised myself to make up for that we would sing a Townes Van Zandt song at all of our gigs. And I like to show my husband off. He's a pretty mighty fine guitar player. So there's going to be his moment to shine, Mr. Michael Moko on the guitar. You got to make him feel good. You got to make some noise. You got to clap along. Listen to them big trucks whine. I'm going out on that highway. Listen to them big trucks whine. White Freightliner, won't you steal away my mind? New Mexico ain't bad, Lord. People here, they treat you fine. New Mexico ain't bad, Lord. People here, they treat you fine. White Freightliner, won't you steal away my mind? Let's see what you got, Michael Moko. Here we go. That's pretty good, Michael Moko. Well, Lord, I'm gonna ramble till I get back to where I came. Well, Lord, I'm gonna ramble till I get back to where I came. White Freightliner, won't you steal away my brain? I reckon we can do it again, right? One more time. Here we go. Felicity Kircher, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up, baby. Well, there's bad news from Houston. All my friends, they're dying. Well, there's bad news from Houston. All my friends are dying. White Freightliner, won't you steal away my mind? White Freightliner, won't you steal away my mind? White Freightliner, won't you steal you in away my mind?